This man is the most desperate man in the world. He'd never even run a red light, yet he was arrested for illicit substance use. The judge couldn't fathom how a promising musical talent had fallen so far. William's reply stunned the courtroom.
So if you want to lock me up, because there is nothing out here for me anymore.
What on earth had happened to make him give up on himself so completely? Though he'd lost his father at birth, William had a mother who loved him deeply, growing up happy in a sea of affection. 2 years earlier, his mother said goodbye to him, heading back to her hometown to care for her ailing mother. She didn't want to tie her son down, hoping he'd fulfill his artistic talent in the city.
Best thing that ever happened to me.
William didn't let his mother down. He started composing his own songs and formed a band. In just 6 months, the band gained a small following. Yet, a call from his hometown shattered William's dream. His mother had cancer. William rushed back without hesitation to take care of her, but the exorbitant medical bills crushed him. In his darkest hour, on a bus, he met Laurel, the love of his life. It was love at first sight. They held hands, running through the streets, from reading poetry together to cuddling close. During the hard days of his mother's illness, Laurel was his anchor, but their happiness didn't last. Laurel fell into substance abuse after befriending the wrong people. Soon after, his mother passed away. William fell into despair, descending into addiction alongside his girlfriend. Before long, Laurel got pregnant. Tragically, she died shortly after giving birth. Completely shattered, William had no choice but to abandon their newborn son at the fire station. He drowned his sorrows in drugs until his arrest. Moved by William's story, the judge took pity on him and gave him a chance to turn his life around.
I want you to look at this too tired, too old, too fat face. And if you ever start heading toward the ending I don't want to write, you picture this face and you make a different choice.
William kept his promise. For the next 35 years, he resisted temptation and stayed out of trouble. But a cancer diagnosis threw him back into the abyss. Hopeless, William planned to end his life, just as his savior knocked on his door. The son he'd abandoned had grown into an incredible man. He took William back to his villa, caring for him and giving William the courage to live again. Though his adoptive parents did their best to give Randall the very best, he still couldn't escape discrimination because of his black skin. From childhood, he'd felt an innate kinship with other black people and would ask if they were his biological parents. To help him find a sense of belonging, his adoptive father took him to a martial arts studio run by a black owner. All the students there were kids from black families. Watching his son admire the coach, Jack finally realized racial differences couldn't be erased later in life. He proposed to his wife that they find Randall's birth parents, thinking it would fill his emotional void, but Rebecca strongly opposed it. Overwhelmed with anxiety, Rebecca sought out William, hoping he might have a solution. William was overjoyed to hear his son was looking for him and asked Rebecca if he could visit Randall. He offered to teach Randall how to play instruments. William excitedly rummaged through his boxes to find a gift, but when he turned around, Rebecca was already gone.
I cannot lose my son. I can't.
Before long, Rebecca sent William a letter along with a photo of Randall. She would never give Randall back to William. Her husband was great and worked hard enough to give Randall all the love and everything he needed. Yet Randall has no idea how much his adoptive parents have sacrificed for him. When he discovers his adoptive mother lied to him and deliberately cut off his connection with his biological father, he breaks down. Randall lists 22 crimes against Rebecca on the paper, unable to forgive her. To help him calm down, his siblings take him back to the small wooden house they lived in as kids, a time when his adoptive mother was still young and his adoptive father was alive. In a daze, Randall confronts the younger Rebecca, asking why she deprived him of another possible life. The Rebecca from the past doesn't respond, but the father from his childhood draws near to talk with him. Jack tells him that the truth is often not what it seems. Following Jack's guidance, Randall sees his younger adoptive mother locking herself alone in a room. She would often lock the door tightly and close the windows as if she were terrified. That's when Randall realizes his mother had also been scared. Randall finally understands his adoptive mother's hardships and struggles, snapping back to reality. It turns out he's accidentally eaten some hallucinogenic mushrooms earlier, which explains why he's seeing those visions and his late adoptive father. A few days later, Randall knocks on his adoptive mother's door and pulls out the list filled with her crimes. Rebecca thinks he's come to blame her and prepares to apologize, but her son's words bring tears to her eyes.
You kept that secret for 36 years. That must have been incredibly lonely.
After forgiving his adoptive mother, his father throws a fit, refusing to eat or take his medicine. William doesn't want to waste his remaining days in the hospital. He wants to go back to his hometown one last time. So Randall ignores the firing threat, gets in the car, and sets off to help his father fulfill his final wish. William's first stop is a big tree by the lake, where Randall's adoptive father, Jack, is buried. William thanks Jack for raising Randall with such care.
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to meet you, brother.
They continue their journey, stopping to taste William's favorite foods from the past. In this way, William takes his son through every inch of the land he once lived on, trying his best to make up for the 36 years he missed in his son's life. Their final stop is a tavern, the place where William's dreams began. He meets his cousin, with whom he once formed a band, and utters the long overdue apology. Years ago, because of his mother's serious illness, William had to quit the band at the height of its success. His cousin had held a grudge ever since, blaming William for derailing the band's progress. But upon hearing that William is dying of illness, the cousin lets go of his resentment. The two men are transported back to their youth. William plays the piano with great vigor, shining brightly on stage. Randall is overjoyed. He can't help but call his wife to share the happiness. However, the night's celebration exhausts William's remaining strength. Randall hurries to take his father to the hospital. Doctors tell him William's organs are failing rapidly, and he likely has only a few hours left. Though he's imagined this moment countless times, Randall still can't bring himself to accept it. In truth, William had known he'd never make it back home. So early yesterday morning, before leaving, he'd quietly snuck into his granddaughter's room to say his final goodbye. William hands Randall a collection of poems he'd written to his son over the past years.
You deserved a beautiful life you made, my beautiful boy.
Despite a life filled with misfortune and bad choices, William doesn't see himself as tragic.
Because the two best things in my life were the person in the very beginning and the person at the very end.
As William's breathing grows rapid, Randall holds his face and teaches him to take deep breaths, a trick he'd learned from his adoptive father. Whenever Randall could barely hold on, Jack would do this to help him through the pain. William passes away, reunited with his long-missed mother, and Randall finally learns to slow down, no longer pushing himself so hard. He returns to the company where he's worked for 10 years and tenders his resignation to his unfeeling boss. Following William's last wish, his granddaughters turn his memorial service into a celebration. The venue is filled with flowers and balloons. Everyone laughs as they share stories of their time with William, as if he'd never left.